All right, welcome everyone to a special meeting, City Council for Tuesday, January 18th. Purpose of this meeting is for a revote on this council person for position 5 on the CAPC Commission. If we could have a roll call, Madam Clerk, to establish quorum.
Terry McClung.
I'm here.
Melissa Green.
Here.
Harry Meyer.
Here.
Nick Roberts.
Here.
Autumn Slane.
Here.
Bill Ott.
Here.
We have 6.
All right. This is a special meeting. We'll only be taking up one agenda item, and that agenda is to revote on the council person for position 5. At the last council meeting, I was mistaken, said that the council members could vote for themselves. After further review and review of Arkansas Code 1442-103B, it states that members of the governing body shall not vote on his or her appointment. So therefore, we will need to revote for both positions. And again, this is for position 5. I think Madam Clerk has ballots. I'd like to see a show of hands of those who'd like to run and be nominated for position 5. If everybody would raise their hands. So we have Melissa Green, Autumn Slane. Harry, is your hand?
Yep.
Terry, is your hand up?
Well, my hand was up because I wanted to ask a question.
Well, let's see. Okay, just a moment. Is there anybody else on position 5? There's 4. All right, those 4 will be nominated for that. Mr. McClung, your question is?
Are you sure then that we're not supposed to nominate people individually and do it that way?
Mr. City Attorney?
The rule that you're reading does not say that. If you wish to do that as a council, you set your own rules, so you could do it that way.
There you go.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
last time we could nominate ourselves or we could nominate someone else. Wouldn't that,
How does the council like to do this?
I mean, last time we did it both. I could nominate myself last time or I could nominate Terry. What difference does it make?
Yeah, but if you're going off the law that you're stating 14.42.103 is to nominate city council, it says nothing about other commissions. That's my concern.
It sounds like more information needs to be gathered to be able to make sure we're doing this right.
I think we are
don't wanna
doing
make
this
any
right
mistakes.
according to legal, according to the attorneys that I've spoken with. This is a process to do it. Now, Ms. McClung.
Well, I would just prefer if we nominated people for the position, that way we wouldn't have, everybody throwing their own name in the hat or,
We can do it that way if that's the way the council would like.
I want it to go as quickly as we can.
Now, there isn't any reason why you can't nominate yourself. It's not against the law.
Well, and that's fine. I mean, I don't care about that, but
Okay.
maybe if 2 of them get nominated.
I would be glad to.
Right there.
I'd be glad to take a motion to handle it in that manner.
So if we cannot nominate ourselves, that was the exact reason that you were using to have the special meeting. Then what was the reason?
The meeting
Voting for yourself.
It's voting.
That's what you were
vote-
just now talking about.
No, you're nominating. There's a difference between nominating yourself
nominating.
and voting for yourself.
Okay.
I would
Mr.
beg the question
McClung.
that we don't even need to be doing this right now until we have for sure decided.
You're
whether this-
welcome to make a motion to postpone, and if you want to, on that count, not postpone, it's
Table.
to table this motion.
I move that we table this motion for the position.
All right, we got a motion to table this.
Position 5.
Do I hear a second?
If we table
Do I
this,
hear a second?
I'm concerned that it's going to be automatic.
We need a second before we can discuss it.
No, she can have point of inquiry, Mayor.
She's not doing that,
Point of inquiry,
all right?
does that mean that it automatically goes to the previous people in the seat?
Yes.
I have a question. So
We have a motion to table this. That's what this is what the discussion's about. Is there any further discussion
Point
on
of
tabling
inquiry.
this?
Did we have a
We
second?
need a second.
We don't
Do we
have
have
a
a
second.
second?
Let's
Point
move
of
on.
inquiry.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Point of inquiry.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to table this. Mr. McClung?
Well, never mind.
Anybody, any further discussion on tabling this motion?
Ask if-
I'd like to have a roll call, please.
Mr. McClung,
No,
Ms. Green,
No.
Mr. Meyer,
No.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Ms. Slane,
Yes.
Mr. Ott,
Yes.
3-3.
No. I don't need to vote, I'm sorry. Motion fails for lack of 4 votes.
But can't you vote to,
Inquiry.
No, I have to vote.
Point of inquiry.
Mr. McClung?
Can I ask a question?
I would like to make a motion that we make 2 nominations for this position and then close the nominations. Or, yeah, how about that? Just that we have 2 nominations and then close the nominations.
What happens if we don't have 4 votes?
And we're only speaking about position 5 at this point.
Right.
Mr. Weaver, can they do that? Can they close the nominations with just 2?
Technically, I think they can, but he needs to decide who can nominate based on what he's saying there. He's not differentiating whether an individual can nominate themselves
Okay.
or not.
I have no second, so I'll withdraw that motion. And I'll make a motion that can nominate as many that want to be nominated. But, you know, let's go ahead and let's get it going. Let's just,
All right, we got a motion to nominate, and that includes yourself.
so
correct.
that needs a second.
But
I'll second
I'm
that.
restating the motion. Yes.
I make a motion that we make nominations and have them seconded, and then vote for that position.
Okay. And there's a second. Further discussion on that? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Open for nominations. Mr. McClung.
I'd like to nominate Autumn Slane for that position.
I second that.
I'd like to nominate Harry Myers.
I'd like to nominate Terry.
I need a second, evidently.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Oh, you seconded Harry? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'll second Terry.
should all be fair.
I'll second Terry.
Yeah.
This should all be fair,
That was already
truly.
That's all it
seconded.
needs.
He was already seconded.
This is
All right.
absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, we have Autumn and Harry is on there. Any further nominations? All right, hearing none, then that Harry and Autumn have been nominated, then the nominations are closed. Hearing nothing else. All right,
And I'm assuming we have to sign these and put our names on these ballots, sir?
that's correct.
Could you put the,
Are we supposed to do a secret vote here? I think this should be very,
You have to put your name on the bottom.
it's required.
It's required by state law.
Thank you, sir.
And it is FOIA-able, so it is not a hidden vote.
Carry him up. Oh, you need a pen.
We can't,
you should know anyway.
There's
Everybody's
one.
supposed to know. It's not a secret.
Thank you.
True card.
Okay, there's yours. You should have 6.
It looks like it. Okay. Autumn? Harry? There's a ballot signed none.
People can abstain.
That's mine.
That's Harry's.
Just read the names of the person that voted for, so we know.
He just told you. Here.
I know, but
I just abstained from voting, basically.
Why don't we just vote verbally? I think all of us.
Please stop.
Harry can't vote for himself.
Harry? Autumn? Autumn? Carrie? 3-2.
Okay, I'm going to do this one more time.
Okay?
Butch, do you not want to vote?
At this point, the motion fails. I'm asking the
You
council.
could do 4.
I can't vote. I can vote in favor, but I can also vote not vote. I
So
don't
you're
have to
choosing
vote.
not to vote,
No, he's giving us another chance.
to change our mind on who we voted for?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yellow.
I'll get this round.
Thank you.
Okay, and remember, one of those is Harry's.
Righto.
Harry, I'll leave this pin here in no man's land.
Thank you.
Mr. Meyer abstained. And we have Harry Meyer. Abstain,
Got 2?
2 abstentions. Autumn Slane, Autumn Slane. Autumn Slane. 3-1.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and vote for Autumn.
4-1.
Thank you.
All right, we have another, if I can get a motion to adjourn the meeting, please.
So moved.
Second.
Get a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll have another meeting, special meeting, for a second special meeting for the purpose of voting for the council person for position 6. We still have the same amount of people here.
I move that we
So
discuss.
we get, I'd be willing to hear nominations.
I move that we discuss.
Second.
All right?
Before we go further with this, I want to clarify that even if my vote for myself did not count, I still upheld 4 votes, and I do have this position. There's no reason to vote. And I want to ask you and Tim, I said, you've both been here 8 years, and have done this 8 times at least. So you should know how this process went in the first place, to be clear. There should not be a scramble. And we've been voting representatives in this city for 50 years now. It's a shame that we can't figure out the process. But this vote should not happen. It has no right to happen. It's already done.
I move to cancel the special meeting
I second that.
and
I'm sorry, Ms. Slane, what were you saying?
I move to cancel this special meeting for this other vote. I agree with Nick. Even if you, cancel his vote, which he voted for himself,
Just let me be clear, if we do not continue with this, position 6 is that Melissa's?
No, it would be mine. It is
No,
mine.
it's not.
It is mine.
Whose
You
position
mean
is it?
currently,
Current.
whose is it?
Right.
I'm not positive. Did you have 5 or 6?
I had-
Whoever, yours is
4
an
votes,
illegal,
period.
yours is not a proper vote. You cannot sit on that commission. So we need to revote
My vote
this.
didn't matter. I had 5 to 1. 4 is for me.
I'm calling, listen, that is not correct.
That is true. That happened.
That is correct.
It is on record. It's recorded.
Please stop.
Mr. Ott,
Point of clarification, was the vote for Nick 5-1?
it doesn't matter, he voted
It does
for
matter.
himself.
But that would just
That disqualifies,
his vote.
that disqualifies the election.
That would not hold up in any court.
Therefore,
You know that.
Mr. Mayor, I move we ratify Nick Roberts as the position 6 for the CAPC. I
I'll
so
second
move.
that.
I don't think that's proper.
Right now, it's not, because there's a motion on the floor.
Yeah, you'd have to withdraw your motion.
I withdraw my motion.
Is that proper?
If the second is withdrawn, he can withdraw it.
You withdraw your second?
I withdraw the second.
Okay, Mr. Ott,
Terry McClung would like to speak.
Mr. Ott had the motion.
Yeah, my motion was to ratify Nick in that 6th position.
Hi, Terry. I'm trying to help you get your voice heard.
Just a moment. Is there a second? Mr. McClung? Are you
Yeah,
seconding that?
I've got a question for Mr. Weaver.
Yes.
I mean, I think there's some truth in what Mr. Roberts says, and that he inadvertently voted for himself because he thought he could. But I think that the fact that he voted illegally, the rest of us did not. And so I would think that, his vote canceling itself out because it was not a legal vote should not cancel the votes of everyone else. Does that not make sense?
Making sense and being legally justifiable are not always the same thing. Now, I grant you that with 4 votes, otherwise, he would have been properly elected at that time. But if the vote in and of itself was an improper vote, none of the votes would have been counted, and therefore there would not have been 4 other votes.
Then may I ask you this, sir? What was improper about the other votes?
If we take the municipal league stand, which is what we're doing at this point, that you cannot vote for oneself, then it was an illegal vote when votes were taken from the individual candidates.
So the fact that he voted for himself voids everyone's vote?
I think that that argument is sustainable in a court of law, potentially, yes.
I was going off of the advice of counsel for you, Tim. You told us we could, so just to get that tidbit.
You can make that statement, and I still stand by what I told you the other night.
Okay.
I think there's still an argument to that, because the argument that is here before from the municipal league is this a potential pecuniary position. Pecuniary positions, you cannot vote for yourself. If it is not a pecuniary position, it's been the standing of this council for a long time that you could.
Why was it that confusing in the first place?
I think the state law is confusing. It probably needs to be addressed, but only Little Rock can address that. We have no power to do that.
But we have the power to uphold our vote, the 4 votes that I got rightfully to be. And I stand firm with that, and I'm not giving up. We're not revoting tonight.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Meyer.
I think there's some misunderstandings about this, because at the beginning of the election last time, the choice, everyone was allowed to vote for themselves and nominate themselves. And people voted according to those rules. If the rules were different, you would not have gotten 4 or 5
That's
votes.
just your opinion.
No, it's not my
No, it's-
opinion.
All right, no, we're not.
It's a fact.
Just hold
You
on.
can't prove
Please.
that. Like there's
Mr.
no...
Roberts, please. He has the floor.
Well, you can't prove that it's otherwise. The whole election
So why bring it up?
has to
Mr.
be
Roberts.
tossed out, because because it was done wrong. That's just the way the law works.
Ms. Green?
You know, we had a lot of controversy over this last year, and I believe it's in the lawsuit, and the municipal league cleared it up, and when Jeff Carter voted for himself at the CAPC, we had to totally do it all over again. So I don't know. We had 3 or 4 different votes going around, and I would prefer, I don't need to sit in that seat. Doesn't bother me one way or another, that we don't fill it until we absolutely have the right answer. Because I don't want to do this again. There's a lot of hard feelings right now, and there shouldn't be hard feelings.
Point of order. There's a motion on the floor to ratify Nick in that position, and I'm waiting for a second.
I second that.
Who seconded?
I second that. Nick Roberts.
Mr. Weaver, is this a proper, can they ratify
The
an
statute,
illegal vote?
the statute does not authorize it. I honestly don't know that there's an answer without looking for one, because it's not covered in the normal statutes. It'd have to come from case law if there is.
So at this point, what is your recommendation?
I think to take a vote to ratify at this point would be premature.
Mr.
We
McClung?
might be right back here again in 2 days.
Mr. McClung, I see you have your hand up.
I'd like to nominate Nick Roberts for position 6.
Second.
Move
We
forward.
already have a motion on the floor to ratify this.
Apparently, we
It
don't,
was-
because the city attorney says that it's
Said it was
not
moot.
anything that, that it's not.
Well, we're debating that, whether or not it's proper or not, and it'd be the best if we would withdraw that motion.
I withdraw that motion, and I second the nomination of Nick.
Let's do one thing at a time, please.
Mr. Mayor?
Excuse me, just a moment. Do we need the person who seconded to withdraw his second?
Yes.
I withdraw my second.
All right, now we got a motion to nominate Nick, and we had a second by Mr. Ott. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to nominate Melissa Green.
All right, here's a second. Mr. McClung?
Mr. Mayor, I make a nomination, I make a motion that the nominations be closed.
Second.
All
That-
right.
Well, that would be
Well,
the
if
same
that's
as
the
the
case,
vote.
then Nick is the new person by acclamation, with nobody running. Get a motion to adjourn?
Go ahead.
So moved.
Go ahead and take a written vote.
Okay, we still need, we still need a written vote.
After that,
Still,
do end up somewhere.
please,
Vote.
So we need a written vote on a one-person race.
let's just do the
You
written vote.
I'm asking the question, sir.
You technically could end up, now, I'm not saying that that's, but you technically could end up without 4 votes. And it does say in the law, a majority vote.
Okay.
And if you clear it up with the paper, you've got it done.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There you go, Harry.
Want to get it? You got it? I need the exercise.
Okay.
Good for you. My watch keeps track of that for me. And it said, you did enough steps today. So I was pacing today.
have 4 definite votes, an abstention, and basically what amounts to an abstention. Okay,
4-2.
Wait, how could we get,
well,
Oh, oh.
one note says, not
I
advised
got it.
fully if I can vote, so it's an abstention.
okay, I got it.
Got it.
So
Okay.
4-2 vote.
Un momento, let's see what it says.
4-0
Oh, here's another abstention. We have 3 votes for Nick Roberts, 2 abstentions, and 1 that amounts to an abstention.
All right, I'm going to do this one more time.
Okay?
To make this clearer,
Yes?
it'd probably be easier not to give Nick a paper, because he can't vote, and then he can't accidentally vote.
Just
Sorry,
pass-
Mr.
pass-
Roberts.
Pass 2 down there. Just pass 2.
You all right with that?
I can't, according to what you've said so far, I can't vote, but if that wasn't the case, I would vote for myself to be on record.
In that spot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Right.
I'll have to change my vote to a different pen.
I just write too slow.
Ann knows how to translate my scribble.
Yeah, mine too.
Thank you.
Did you get another bicycle?
Yeah, I bought me another, same brand.
Yeah.
Brand.
Okay. Of the 5 votes, we have 2 abstentions,
Still 3 to you.
and we have 3 for Nick.
Beg your pardon, 3 for Nick?
Yes.
And I'll go ahead and vote yes.
Thank you, Butch.
4-1.
All right, get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Wait a minute,
opposed?
who made the motion?
I did. Little Billy Ott.
Mr. Ott?
Got it. Thank you.
All right, this is adjourned, special meeting. Thank you all for attending.